I'm Bob Roberts, your MTAR Government Affairs Director, and this is your Government Affairs Update for the week of Thursday, September 22nd, 2011. One of the hottest issues in any political discussion is always that of taxation, and realtors in particular have to be tuned in to the various forms of taxation as well as proposals for new taxes. The real estate industry is a popular target for our local, state, and national governments as a potential revenue source, so we as real estate professionals face a never-ending fight to keep the government not only out of our pocketbooks, but out of our customers' wallets as well. It's no wonder, then, that when a rumor starts about yet another real estate tax, people get scared. However, we can't let our fear create a bigger problem than actually exists by not learning about the facts. In March of 2010, Congress passed a health care bill called the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, or PPACA. It's more frequently referred to as simply the Health Care Bill, or Obamacare. The bill was, and continues to be, incredibly controversial and polarizing, and at an approximate total length of 2,000 pages, there's plenty in there to debate. However, there's one part that seems to have grabbed the attention of quite a few realtors, as well as a number of non-realtor citizens too. Unfortunately, it's grabbed their imaginations as well, and now the myth surrounding the facts poses a problem itself. Ever since early drafts of the legislation began to circulate as a proposal, there have been emails like this one, denouncing a 3.8% sales tax on all home transactions, which would be used to pay for the health care bill. A tax of that nature, properly known as a transfer tax, is nothing new to politically involved realtors. Earlier this year, MTAR helped oppose a proposed county-wide transfer tax in Rutherford County, and NAR has helped many state associations lead the charge to pass legislation banning private transfer fees in 33 states, including Tennessee. However, a transfer tax on all home sales is not what's actually included in the health care bill. What is included is a 3.8% tax on certain types of investment income, and even then only for people who meet a certain income level. How is it calculated? First, it only applies if an individual has an adjusted gross income, or AGI, of over $200,000. For couples with a joint return, the AGI must exceed $250,000. If you don't reach that threshold, then this tax doesn't apply. By the way, your AGI is your total income minus various business expenses, retirement plan payments, alimony, student loan payments, and several other adjustments. For individuals or couples with higher than the 200 or 250K AGI, the tax would be applied to interest, dividends, rental income, and some capital gains. Furthermore, it would be applied to the lesser of either the investment income amount or the excess of AGI over the prescribed amount.
Wait, what does that mean? Here, let's take a look at a couple of examples courtesy of NAR.
Let's say John and Mary have an AGI of $325,000, which puts them in the taxable level. They sell their principal residence and realize a gain of $525,000, of which $25,000 is taxable income under capital gains. Their new AGI is therefore $350,000, which means the excess amount over the tax trigger is $100,000. Since the tax applies to the lesser of either the investment income or the excess amount, John and Mary would be taxed 3.8% on $25,000, which comes to $950. Here's another real estate example. Hank's job pays him $85,000, but he also owns several small apartment units and makes $130,000 annually in rental income. After about $110,000 in expenses related to his rental properties, he's actually only profiting $20,000 a year, resulting in an AGI of $105,000. Since his AGI doesn't reach the tax trigger amount, Hank doesn't have to pay the 3.8%. What about the sale of a second home? Let's suppose the Bridgers own a vacation home, one which they've never rented out to others and that they purchased for $275,000. They later sell the house for $335,000, resulting in a capital gain of $60,000. At that time, their AGI other than the sale is $225,000, making their new AGI $285,000, which puts them over the tax trigger by $35,000. This time, since the excess is less than the capital gain, the Bridgers would be taxed 3.8% on the $35,000, which comes to $1,330. These are just a few of the many examples that NAR provides online at this address. What's being called the healthcare tax or the Obamacare tax is actually a very complicated piece of tax code, very different than the scary, all-encompassing, far-reaching transfer tax which the chain emails decry, and one which ultimately has no effect on a large number of American homeowners. Furthermore, this tax isn't yet being applied. The tax doesn't go into effect until January 1st of 2013. Why should we as realtors care about a silly chain email? Well, as realtors, many consumers look to us as sources of expert information on the current real estate market. The block R symbol is representative of your professionalism, so you need to know the truth about any issue which may affect your clients. When chain emails circulate warning of a mega tax urban legend like this, it can scare consumers away from buying their first home or their next home. When consumers are scared, it ultimately hurts your business as well as the national economy. Realtors have a responsibility to make sure everyone is well informed and that rumors are dispelled before they have a chance to do lasting damage.
This rumor has become far-reaching. I get inquiries about it here at MTAR at least once a month and have heard it discussed at meetings at the State and National Association. Take the time to study up on this issue so that you can speak truthfully and authoritatively when your friends, family, and customers come to you as the voice of real estate. I'll see you next week.